Hey, this is Haley Jansen, and I'm a digital marketing specialist here today to explain how to make social media life-giving to you and your business with a 7-step strategy, not tricks and hacks. So let's get started. Here's what you'll learn by hanging out with me today. A legit strategy proven to make social media love you. This free class is for business owners who want to connect with their ideal customer, rather. It's actually not only for business owners, it could be anyone who wants to make social media love them, because it's really hard to rise above the crowd these days. So honestly, these are tips and tricks that you may have not heard of before from other marketers or social media gurus. Most people are afraid of social media algorithms, but watch the whole video to learn how to use it to your advantage. And last but not least, how to avoid overwhelming your audience with content they don't want to see. P.S. You're in the right place if you want to spend less time on social media. You want to build a life-giving community online, but you don't want it to take over your life. You crave new ways to share content online. The thought of being like everyone else overwhelms you. There has to be a better way, and there is. You understand that social media can be a solution to your business. Your presence online is crucial to you in scaling your business. You hear about algorithms and they freak you out. Everyone is trying to scare you by negatively talking about algorithms, but they are actually there for your good. It doesn't matter where you are on your social media journey, I will definitely have something to help you in this free class. So 2 gifts for hanging around to the end. I love giving free gifts. We are planning an exclusive Q&A session that I will keep you posted on, where you can ask me anything. And also, you're going to get today's slides so you can sit back and enjoy the free class today. And here's a peek into my career. My career started with volunteering with a nonprofit and helping with their social media. The funny story is, here it is. I'm just laughing thinking about it. We're sitting there learning how to do social media for a nonprofit, because it's different than doing it for a business or personal reasons. So I'm sitting there and I was like, wow, I love this so much. I want to do this for a job. And my mentor was like, hey, I know some work you could do. How about we go to Starbucks, meet for an interview? And that's kind of where my career started. I was like on par, passionate about doing social media, and the opportunity is out there. So social media is a big part of most successful businesses, especially if you're growing a social community, or if you're just growing a social community for a nonprofit. I've seen countless people transform and simplify their online presence, and so can you. Take it from someone who's been on social media for over 12 years. That's a lot of screen time. Oh well. There's a way to make it feel life-giving to you and your business. So I've been on it 12 years, and I know what not to do and what to do when it comes to being online. Here's the 7 steps that is life-giving social media focused. So step 1 is think why before posting anything. Step 2, be aware of what your ideal customer wants. Step 3, you're 24/7 salesperson. Step 4, lifestyle and transparency equals building your tribe. Step 5, sharing your beliefs and values. Step 6, brand, grow, sell, repeat. Step 7, show up like Adele. So let's get started with step number 1. 60-second preface, preface. We're not talking about having tens of thousands of followers, or I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about lying to your audience to make a sale, or being something you're not, cookie cutter social media profiles, pretending you enjoy every second of posting on social media, etc. If that's what you want to learn, then this free class is not for you. We're also going to be focusing this reminder, we were talking about the immaterial connection between a consumer and your business. A positive and strong social media presence. Sorry, I'm going to just reread that. A little confusing there. So the immaterial connection between a consumer and your business, if that connection is strong and positive, then that's going to equal a great online presence. If the connection is negative and weak, that's going to equal a bad online presence. You and your personality will build and grow your dream online presence and community. So if you want it to be positive, it's going to be great. If you want it to be negative, it's not going to be very good. Here we go. Step number 1, think why before posting anything. I first recommend checking out this video by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. This really helps make you think differently when you're posting anything on social media. So here's 2 examples of a couple social media accounts. Example A is Rachel Hollis, and example B, I'm not even going to give the name because I just found a random social media account that's obviously dead. No one's been posting there for a long time. It's old. Anyways, so I'm going to show you that Rachel Hollis always starts with why. And if you don't start with why, you're going to get tired of your social media and you're going to stop posting. Especially, you can see on the bio of Instagram, be just your average human surfing the media, self-taught artist. Occasionally, I take pictures of random things I find interesting. So Instagram, I'm going to get into this more later, but they're going to not push people towards your account if you're posting random things and you don't really have a purpose for your Instagram account. If you dig in a little deeper, Rachel Hollis's why is motivating mamas. You can see this right off the front page. Her best practice before posting anything on social media is to pause and become your ideal customer for a moment. Rachel does a really great job at this, but she's also her ideal customer herself. So it's really easy for her to imagine herself scrolling through Instagram as her ideal customer, seeing her post, because she is her customer. She is a mom, and she likes to be motivated by other people, so she wants to motivate moms. So what will your ideal customer get from seeing your post? Is it motivational? Is it a free workout? Is it relatable beliefs and values, etc.? Just sit there and think, what would my ideal customer want from my social media account? So each post has a purpose, but we'll dig deeper into that in step 6. I just wanted to give you one really great example of someone who her whole profile is her why. Step number 2, be aware of what your ideal customers want. So here's that same example of being aware of what your ideal customers want. So motivating mamas. On the left here, you can see that it's working. This is what works. She's got over 1 million followers on Instagram, and it's not just because of what she posts on Instagram, but she is continuously growing because of what she posts now, and she's always been motivating mamas. On the right is another example of an account that motivates mamas, but it's not exactly making the impact as the account is on the left. So what do we see on the left? We see motivational quotes. We see exactly what she does for a living. She goes and speaks in front of thousands of people. She loves looking good in fashion. She loves journaling. She loves writing quotes on her mirror. She is sorry, not sorry, and makes sure her kids know that too. And she works out, and she's a big motivational speaker. That's what's on the left, motivating mamas. On the right, it looks like an old account that's just kind of been posting. It's not doing a terrible job, but they're posting random quotes, And I would just add in a bit more content that your moms want to see. And that's why it's really good to find out what they want to see. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. Every post should make your ideal customer feel something. Here's an example. And the reason why we want them to feel something is they get to see what you offer in action. So on the left here is Kayla Tsina's social media account. And here are just a few examples of things on her account that make people feel something. So this quote here says, "Ladies, we are stronger together, BBG community, Kayla Tsina." So it actually is a lot more in there. I'll show the post in a second, like the full post, but the goal is to make women feel connected while building community with other women. This is actually a repost from another major Instagram account. This is a good way to make connections. So Boss Babe Incorporated, their account most likely has a lot of followers that are Kayla's ideal customer. So she reposted one of their quotes on her account and tagged them in it, but also said like, hey, we're building our BBG community. And it kind of is also inviting Boss Babe's community to come and join hers, because they're totally two different communities. One is more business focused, and she's saying, hey, women from Boss Babe, come do fitness workouts with us. Here's a bigger post. So supporting another woman's success won't ever make yours less. So she's supporting Boss Babe. There are a couple women in there that they built their accounts. She's built hers, and she's just trying to connect the dots between the two of them. Every post should also make your ideal customer see something. Again, seeing what you offer in action. So what does Kayla's ideal customer want to see at her post? So they want to see transformation. She teaches fitness workouts, and they want to see what those fitness workouts will result in. So you have to ask yourself, what do your ideal customers need to see? What you do in action. So they need to see social proof. That might not look like transformational photos, but that might be videos of your ideal customers want to see how your clients or customers got their transformation. And it could be food photos. There's so many different types of photos. You really got to put on your ideal customer hat on, put your goggles on, and see what you'd want to see as the ideal customer. So hot tip, never post on only one platform. Instagram makes it easy to share your post on other social platforms as well. So she's posted this video, but it also goes to Facebook and other platforms. So Kayla does a great job at thinking smarter, not harder. So here's the two photos. So all of these photos get shared on Facebook and Instagram. So if your moms are on one or the other, you can post on Instagram and also post on Facebook. I don't think it works vice versa, like Facebook to Instagram, but Instagram to Facebook works really well. So if you're not sure what you would want to provide or what would provide value to your ideal customer, rather, ask them in person. What would you like to see on Facebook or Instagram? How could I provide more value to you during the week from my social media platforms? These are two great questions to ask some of your ideal customers that you really trust. And step number 3, you're a 24/7 salesperson. Here's a great example. Again, Instagram B is not a 24/7 salesperson. They have no goal in mind. They're very random. This is what not to do. So if you feel like you're fighting any sort of algorithm, then it may be time to model what someone else is doing. Not Instagram B, though. Instagram is a social platform with an algorithm. Follow what successful accounts are doing. The Instagram algorithm works to promote good quality content. There is a way to personalize your profile without adding clutter to your feed. You can see that in Instagram B, they did start to add highlights of math projects and memes. So I guess if that's their personality, is they really love math projects and memes, that maybe they are reaching an ideal follower who loves both those things. I don't know, but it seems pretty random. So more to follow. Instagram wants what their users, or Instagram wants their users to see more of what they want. Sorry, my little square there is in the wrong spot. That's why I'm distracted. It's supposed to be around that little shop button. So shoppers want to shop. So Instagram made it easy for shoppers to shop. DIYers want to DIY. So Instagram made it easy for DIYers to DIY. And creatives want to create. So Instagram made it easy for creatives to create. So all of these things to say, like, this is an example of my social media feed, and I'm a creative for sure. So whenever I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see anything to do with bullet journaling, I'm like, wow, that's so inspiring. And I actually save those posts. So if someone saves one of your posts, Instagram's like, whoa, that's good content if that person wants to save it for later. And that's actually something you could see if you turned your Instagram account into a business account. So I really highly recommend doing that. And I think I recommend that later on as well. But this just shows that Instagram wants to show people what they want to see. So if your ideal customer wants to see something specific, Instagram's going to show that to them. And if you're in that category, you're going to show up on their feed. Sorry, I'm just finding my spot here. Okay. You're 24 salesperson in your sleep. So Miss Rachel Hollis can't be the 24/7 salesperson. She needs her Instagram account to have it working in her sleep. So you want your Instagram to be working in your sleep. What does that mean? It means to have call to actions, a CTA. So her call to action here, she actually has multiple call to actions, and Instagram really displays these evenly and in a way that's not confusing. So if someone comes to Instagram and says, oh, I want to see your website, they're going to click on Linktree/The Hollis Company. And that's actually going to take them to a whole nother place that I'll talk about next or later on. But the best practice is to let your social media and website do the hard parts for you. So letting people click message and email on your business account. Here again, set up your Instagram to be a business profile. And what does that do? It gives your ideal customer the option to message you, shop on your website, and email you directly from Instagram. For Rachel, that's mamas. Her audience is mainly mamas. And you can also make your Facebook page a business account as well. If you Google that, which I highly recommend, if you ever have any questions, Google it first. Someone's already answered the question. And then, turn Instagram and Facebook into business profiles so that you have more options on your page and you have more data on the back end. So she can see how many people click her call to actions because she has a business profile. So how it works is you can send people to a Linktree page. That's what Rachel's doing here. There's also other platforms that do the same thing, that just link a bunch of your websites together. Here, this way, they can easily find whatever it is they're looking for, which is what we want our ideal clients to never be confused. If they're looking for something specific, they should be able to find it on your social media. This website link should take your ideal customer to exactly where they want to go. Your financial goal should be aligned with the solution your ideal customer needs solved. And we'll talk more about posting for solutions, like solution type content later on, and I think step 8, or 7. But Rachel's ideal customers want to be motivated by her. So she's used that to her advantage. They click this link, they get sent to Get Fired Up Linktree by Rachel Hollis. So that's her goal, get fired up. And she's pointing them to shop at her QVC line, sign up for her email list, read her books, which is Girl Stop Apologizing, and then watching Rachel motivation videos. and start today journals. Just see, there's everything they'd ever have a question about. Like every question they've ever asked is pretty much answered here, and they can easily find what she provides. So that's a 24/7 salesperson. Now we're moving on to step 4. Lifestyle and transparency equal building your tribe. So it's time to invest in your outreach. Find out where your dream followers hang out. Actively show up and then give, give, give. There is a new way to social. So when you actively show up, that looks like giving someone the feel something only feed. So we really want you to focus on, or I really want you to focus on having a social media feed that where each photo makes someone feel something. Business owners are making more money without posting more to their feed. But here's how. Their feed is only full of feel something imagery that is articulating their message. They aren't spending time posting photos to their feed that their ideal customers don't want to see. This is your lifestyle piece to your Instagram. So when I say lifestyle and transparency equal building your tribe, half of that is the lifestyle piece. You don't really want the transparency piece right on your feed, and that's what this doesn't look like. The example of transparency on your feed was back on Instagram B, where they post random things. So if we continue on, I'm just going to show you that all these photos are posted at different time periods. So this is the actually really interesting part, is that for a lifestyle piece or the feed piece, it doesn't actually matter what dates you post. Like this is the top of the Instagram feed here. The newest photo is like February 2019, and so in the 9 photos, it goes all the way back to 2018. So there's really not many photos on the feed. Maybe only posting lifestyle photos once a month, really, once or twice a month. And these should be professional, feel something only imagery that your ideal customers want to see. So there is a new way to social continued. So there's Instagram highlights now. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you take advantage of them, maybe you don't. But you're probably thinking, wait, I thought consistency on social media was the key. So why would I only post once or twice a month? Well, you want your feed to display all the time. That's like the point of the 24/7 salesperson, is you want it to always be exactly what your ideal customer would want to see right when they get to your Instagram or Facebook for that matter. But your highlights, your stories, those are the consistency part of social media. So you're right. You want to be consistent in your stories. That's where the transparency is. Create highlights that your ideal customers want to see. For this Instagram user, she posts about the Instagram algorithm, CEO time, online business. These are things that her audience wants to see, and she has them on her as highlights on her Instagram feed. So you can always create new Instagram highlights with your archive stories. So if you're like, hey, I don't have any highlights, did I lose all my previous stories that I've posted? No, you can actually go back in your archive when you create a new highlight and find stories that you think fit into a certain category. For her, maybe CEO time is anytime she's giving advice on being a CEO of a woman-led company. So just think of what highlights your ideal customer wants. So this is why you see people saying like new post in their stories, because they use them so often. Half of your customers may watch your stories and not see the post in your feed. So it's really important to have clear, feel good Instagram feeds or Facebook feeds. And then in your stories, you're always pointing back to your feed, because a lot of people just scroll through stories now. Everyone wants to be entertained. But again, this is your transparency piece of your Instagram. So the things that your ideal customer really wants to see on kind of like behind the scenes or advice, those types of posts should be in your highlights here. So continued. Remember, find out where your dream followers hang out. If that's not Instagram or Facebook, then you can also apply these techniques to other social media platforms, because social media platforms won't be around forever. You always want to actively show up where your dream followers are, and give. This means share the lifestyle they want to achieve. Be transparent and unique. No one likes cookie cutter. And speak your customer's love language. Step number 5, sharing your beliefs and values. Before I move on, here's just a quick tip that'll be kind of not included in the slides, but you should take note here. Even though this social media video and free class is about building up your social media or your customers or your community, you also want to make sure you direct them to sign up for your email list. Get their emails, because social media shifts and changes, and the emails that you collect is the only thing that won't shift and change, and that's actually property that you own. You legally can't share it with anyone else. It's just a list of emails is always going to be in your back pocket for your business when things shift and change as you grow, but social media might disappear. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And now we're moving on to step 5, sharing your beliefs and values. Here are 3 great follow-worthy brands who share their beliefs and values. The one on the left and the one on the right really use their highlights properly. Marie Kondo has IGTV, and she highlights the Oscars, but she doesn't really highlight anything else, even though I think she could have a whole Spark Joy highlight where if people want to instantly spark joy, they click on it and see all of the posts she does in that regard. These are just, again, great examples of women or social media accounts that share their beliefs and values. And if you can't see how they do that, please let me know, because I think it's pretty obvious, and your Instagram should be as obvious as these ones. So to get you thinking, what do you value? Think about what you value for a moment. Is it aligned with what your ideal customers value? People like to be able to relate to other people. This is how community is formed. One great example of this is the word hustle in 2019. It's been thrown around more than ever before. And the reason is because people can relate to the word hustle, and there is a community of hustlers behind the phrase. By reviewing Rachel's online presence on the left, you can see that she values motivation, motherhood, and looking good. The cool part is that her message is, if you look good, you feel good. So that is a motivational phrase. And that's why she posts her outfits and motivational, or she has outfits, motivational podcasts, those types of highlights. So by spending 1 minute on her page, you can see that she loves motivating women to be their best selves. Your values matter to your ideal customer. So as soon as they land on your page, they should know what you do and what you value. And share context. I saw this great transformational post the other day here on the left. The great part about it was that it gave a lot of context. But not only that, it was also written to help women with addiction. So the transformational photo without context is just a photo. So my hot tip for you today is, it's not enough to post simply to post something on social media. You have to post something that is worth saying. We will talk more about what type of content to write about in the next step. But again, if you have something that's worth saying, it will rise above the noise. So if your ideal client or ideal customer is scrolling through Instagram and they see your photo and doesn't have anything worth saying underneath, they, one, won't understand the photo, and two, they'll keep scrolling because it's just not catching their attention. So step number 6, brand, grow, sell, repeat. So here's my social triangle for you today. At the top, we have transformation. On the right, we have accountability. And on the left, we have awareness. If you want to grow your social media, this is the type of content you want to post. So content to grow, content to sell, and content to build your brand. Brand awareness, accountability, and transformation. It's that simple. Here's the types of content in each category. So selling, branding, growing. In the selling category, we have solution. We also have authority and results, but those two also are in the branding category. And life and transparency, lifestyle and transparency, which we talked about earlier, are under the brand category, as well as beliefs and values. So that big circle in the middle there is everything that represents your brand. So you kind of want a piece of content from every aspect of these ovals. But the last one is growing. So when you're asking your community and gaining traction, this is like posting questions and polls and really getting your ideal customers to respond to you, listen to you, answer your questions, ask questions. So the really social part of your Instagram. You won't grow without that social part because Instagram's algorithm is there so that it encourages people to be social. If you're like, I'm just going to have social media, but I don't want to be social, then your Instagram won't grow. So here's some more content ideas. When you're scrolling through your feed, catch what catches your attention. I mean, you could also watch for what catches your attention. Keep your eyes and mind open when you're scrolling. You might even be scrolling right now as you're listening to this. I really highly recommend that you don't. But if you are or were at one point in your life your ideal customer, then this could be really, really beneficial to you and your content. So again, if you are or were at one point in your life your ideal customer, then this technique of watching what you're scrolling through and what catches your attention is really, really beneficial to you and your content. Notice what makes you nod your head yes, makes you feel good, and makes you slow down your scroll. You really want to take notes of why you slowed down to read the post. Last but not least, here we go. Show up like Adele. Show up like Adele. What does that mean? This means only going online when you have something meaningful to say or do. This goes along with what we've been saying with the lifestyle sort of feed and the transparency stories. But Adele is a great example because months and years will go by without us hearing a single word or new song coming from Adele. But when she shows up, she shows up. She is giving her audience the greatest content she could ever give them. This is called the Adele effect. So if you show up with the best content, you do not have to show up every day. Your ideal customers just want to see the best content you have to give. It's not that if they're connected to you and your community, they're not gonna forget about you. If you keep posting on your story, they're gonna know what to expect from your lifestyle feed, and they're gonna know that you're gonna show up with the greatest content, and it's gonna rise above the crowd, and it's gonna grow. So if you follow the 7 steps from today, I really hope you enjoyed them. First off, I really hope you enjoyed learning the legit strategy to make social media love you. Life-giving social media tips and tricks that you may have not heard of before from other marketers on social media, and learning a bit more about social media algorithm. Lastly, how to avoid overwhelming your audience with content they don't want to see. But this also helps you avoid overwhelming yourself with posting mass amounts of content every day, or without it. Don't do that. Never post mass amounts of content every day. So I hope this helped. Thanks for spending time with me today. Again, if you follow the instructions below, you'll get these slides from today's video. And yeah, that's how to make social media life-giving to you and your business. I really hope you enjoyed this.